What's up, YouTube? MCO40 here. It is another OCG Thursday, which we actually get the chance to see what's going on inside of the OCG metagame. As like usual, guys, please remember to thumbs up this video. Just one thumbs up from you will indicate that you guys want me to continue this series every Thursday. It is just a little snippet inside of the OCG. Many other channels analyze the OCG meta, giving their opinions on this, and this is something I really like doing for this channel. If you guys remember way back for the last few years, we've had this content. It's not as super in-depth outside of the 3 decks that we cover every week, but it definitely gives me the chance to sit down and talk about a lot of the metagames. So, this is the second place Fluffal deck profile from the Chiba Princess Cup. This was the 10th one, actually. So, it's an all-female tournament. I know a lot of people might be discouraged by those results and be like, well, you know, it's not the full brunt of the OCG. It's still really important to take a look at how these have adapted, things like that. First place was True Draco. So, for Fluffals to come in second place is really good. So, 3 Edge Imp Chain, 2 Edge Imp Sabers, triple little bear, 1 cat, 1, 2, 3 dogs, 1 owl, 2 pengus, 2 wings, 2 gamma seal, 2 ghost ash, 1 ogre, 2 thunder king. So you do have your 4 kaijus, 3 foolish burial goods, 3 fright for patchwork, 1 slumber, triple MST, triple poly, triple toy vendor, and 1 spiritual swords. Your extra deck here: 1 bear, 1 chimera, 1 little daredevil, 2 kraken, 1 Neo, triple saber tooth, 2 sheep, 3 tiger, and 1 wolf. So, you would think, taking a look at how the OCG is operating on the current thing, that this deck wouldn't optimally do so well. Remember, in the link format, guys, this deck does have the ability to recur quite a lot of these guys back to the additional monster zones. A great example of sheep. No, if he's destroyed and sent to the graveyard, he gets to float back. So, you know, he can move himself out of the zone to kind of just sit where he appropriately needs to be. And pretty much your fusions can assist you and take care of a lot of the problems that you might be occurring. And of course, let's not forget Patchwork over here is one of the best cards that this particular deck can really have in its arsenal. So, you know, I'm really happy to see this. Definitely packing the kaiju package here to handle the full blunt of the already ridiculous matchup that you're going to be fighting uphill against for True Kings. And like I said, this deck did really well for the person piloting it. This definitely should give some ideas to the TCG players. If you don't like Spiritual Swords, you can cut this and make it a straight 40. You know, the TCG also has access to additional copies of Slumber, and we're getting Patchwork soon enough, so we'll be fine. But definitely a nice little look at a combo deck for the OCG. Next up, I was actually so low-key since the actual release of Zarc. I've really been wanting to talk about him, and it's a really big shame because with link format essentially coming out at the point that it did, it kind of really fucked up any potential fun that we were going to get to have with Zarc. You know, I don't hate on the OCG for releasing a mechanic to check this guy, but I would have liked to have had a little bit of fun with him. I mean, we'll get a short little window to do it, but not as much as we could. But this did get 3rd place at an 8-man local. At least somebody's trying. There might be some way to do this in the TCG. We'll have to wait and see. But we have 1 little cute little Odd Eyes Unicorn, 1 Trump Girl, 1 Mirage, 1 Squirrel Crobat, 1 Pendulum Sorcerer, 2 Fugolem, 1 Iris Magician, 2 Black Fang, 2 Violet, triple Supreme King Servant Dragon Dark Worm, 1 Persona Dragon, 1 Astrographer, 2 Pendulums, 1 Zingeki, the Supreme King Infinity Gate, and 0, of course, 1 Supreme King Heavenly Odd Eyes Dragon, Noble Dragon, triple Tune, 1 White King Magician, your LaFusion Foolish Barrel, 2 Duelist Advent, 1 Dragon's Mirror, 1 Return, 1 Pendulum Call, 1 Pendulum Fusion, 1 Spiral Flame Strike. I'm actually very shocked that they're playing this, but I guess for recursion. 1 Super Poly, 1 Iris, and 1 Supreme King's Wrath. Extra deck here, 1 Vortex, 1 Starving Venom, 1 of the Starving Venom Dragon Servant, Pendulum Rune, Zarc, Meteor Burst, Clearwing, Servant Clearwing, 2 Startime Magicians, Dark Rebellion, of course, the Servant Dark Rebellion, Absolute Rebellion, and Raging Dragon. So, what's kind of going on here? Well, come here, Zarc. Pendulum Effect. Fusion, Synchro, and XYZ monsters your opponent controls can activate their effects. Once a turn, when your opponent adds a card from their deck to the hand, except during the draw phase, you can destroy a card on the field. This thing requires 4 Dragon-type monsters, 1 Fusion, Synchro, Xyz, and 1 Pendulum. Must be Fusion Summon, can't be Special Summoned by other ways. If this card is Special Summoned, destroy all cards that your opponent controls. This thing cannot be targeted or destroyed by your opponent's card effects. This card destroys opponent's monster and Special Summon 1 Supreme King monster from your main deck or extra deck. If this card in a monster zone is destroyed by battle card effect, you can place this card in your Pendulum zone. I don't know how the fuck your opponent's going to kill this thing. You have plenty of cute ways to adapt this guy out. Dragon's Mirror is one of your really cool ways. Let's see here. You can Pendulum Fusion if you need to, I guess. This gets you some additional recruitability, if I read this right. Yeah. And of course you get to do all the stupid shenanigans here with the Dark Wyvern and whatnot. But the sad thing is, you have to initially Pendulum summon everything out. You're only going to be using your 1 extra deck monster zone, because you don't get full access to the full array. And that's one of the things that can be a little bit disappointing about this deck post a link format, is you don't get the full ability to kind of work around everything. Though the release of Advent really helps a lot of the situation, but still, being able to attempt to summon Zarc is going to be very hard for whoever attempts to do it. But just my 2 cents. I'm just very happy to see that someone's attempting to mess with this general concept, because there's a lot of cool things that this deck can do. So, last but not least, on this week in Japan. So I saw this, my first initial thought was, is that you, Artifact? Nope. No artifacts here. This is true Draco with a Spellbook engine, which is very cool. So 2 Maxi, 2 Spellbook Magician of Prophecy, triple Ice Bell, 1 Majesty Maiden, triple Dynamite Knuckle, 2 Masterpiece, 1 Snow White, triple Ghost Ash, 2 Ogre, 2 Glass Bell, 2 Spellbook of Secrets, 2 Terraforming, 2 Rudra, 1 Fate, 1 Disciples, triple True Draco Succession, triple Dragonic Diagram, triple Revival, and triple Apocalypse. Extra deck, Stardust Charge, 2 Winter Bell, 1 Clearwing, 2 Crystal Wing, 1 Stardust, 1 Neo, 1 Dingdu, 1 Clearwing Fast Dragon, a Broad Bull, a Utopia, Excite Knight, M7, and a Firewall Dragon. Whew. So, there's a lot going on here. Access to Rudra at pretty much all points in time is really, really amazing, which actually can get you to a lot of your further resources than I would have actually first initially thought looking at this. Having access to these for Masterpiece is really amazing. Just a committed normal summon with this can resolve you all the way into a Fate, depending on the situation that you have to. You shouldn't have any problem with this. It's a searchable removal card. Granted, that's a little bit different than the functionality that we've been used to with this card, but I like what they were doing. Also, constant access to Crystal Wing through stupid effects like this are especially really good in today's format, but there's not much else to really say about this. So, this week in Japan has been wrapped up beautifully. A little bit more of the interesting side of the metagame in Japan, especially this. This is one of the cooler things that I kind of get the chance to see come out of Japan every week. I'm not gonna lie, I definitely wouldn't have thought of anything incredibly crazy like this, and I think that this will open up a little bit of the innovation side for the TCG. So guys, leave a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think about this week in Japan. And I'm out, guys. Until next week. That's not all, folks. Please subscribe if you enjoyed this video. Please check out my Cardfight Vanguard channel, VanCole40. You guys will get an insight on our playtesting sessions. And please check out the Zodiac Duelist TV Twitch stream. That way you guys can follow the House of Champions and MCole40 interactions. Please check out MCole Games for all of your guys' trading card game needs. And if you guys enjoyed this content, please check out my Patreon in the description. Every bit helps to the creation of these videos. One step at a time in improvement, and that's the goal of this channel. Alright guys, have a good time, and thanks for watching.